May 2025. Negril, Jamaica. Crystal waters kiss white sand beaches. Palm trees sway in gentle Caribbean breezes. Sunset paints the horizon gold and crimson. Paradise incarnate. This is where Desiree Campbell and Marcus Reynolds, both 32, chose to celebrate the beginning of their marriage. Their Instagram showed champagne toasts on oceanfront balconies, adventures at Rick's Cafe, and intimate dinners illuminated by tiki torches. To forever with you, read their final post. Forever lasted exactly 4 days. At 11:47 p.m. on May 23rd, police officers rushed into their luxury villa at Negril Heights. The scene they discovered would haunt them for years to come. The pristine white bedsheets now crimson, shell casings scattered across marble floors. 2 bodies, one already gone, one barely clinging to life. Blood spatter analysis would later reveal that the killers stood less than 3 feet away when they fired multiple rounds into the newlyweds. This wasn't random. This wasn't opportunistic. This was execution. How does a dream honeymoon transform into a crime scene? What forces converge to turn celebration into tragedy? And who profits from destroying what 2 people spent years building together? Before we continue this journey into the darkness that descended upon this couple's most joyful moment, take a second to subscribe to Guilty Minds Crime Stories. Each day, we explore cases that reveal the depths of human motivation and the consequences when boundaries collapse. Hit subscribe now to ensure you never miss an episode. Desiree and Marcus represented achievement, ambition, and authentic connection. She managed accounts for Kingston's elite as a respected CPA. He designed software that simplified healthcare access across the Caribbean. Together for 5 years before marriage, they embodied the modern Jamaican success story. They complemented each other perfectly, Desiree's maid of honor would later tell investigators. Where she was structured and methodical, he brought spontaneity and creative energy. 200 guests witnessed their exchange of vows at St. Andrew Parish Church. None could have predicted that within a week, they would be planning funerals instead of celebrating the couple's return. The violence that claimed their lives wasn't random. It wasn't opportunistic. It wasn't the product of being in the wrong place at the wrong time. It was calculated. It was personal. It was the culmination of an obsession that festered for years before exploding in that villa on that perfect Caribbean night. This is their story. Kingston, Jamaica. 5 years before the tragedy. Desiree Campbell attended a tech conference representing her accounting firm. Marcus Reynolds presented a new healthcare app his team had developed. They met at the networking mixer afterward. "I knew she was special from our first conversation," Marcus told his brother Devin a week before the wedding. "We talked about data security for 2 hours, and it felt like minutes." Their connection transcended the professional realm. Desiree's analytical mind made her a rising star at Kingston Financial Partners, where she managed portfolios worth millions. By 30, she'd been promoted twice, becoming the youngest senior accountant in the firm's history. Marcus brought creativity to his technical expertise. His innovations in healthcare technology earned him recognition throughout the Caribbean. His app connecting rural patients with medical specialists won the National Innovation Award in 2023. "They elevated each other," explained LaToya Wilson, Desiree's closest friend since university. Marcus taught Desiree to embrace spontaneity. She helped him transform brilliant ideas into executable plans. Their courtship progressed with intention. Weekend hikes through Blue Mountain trails, volunteering together at Kingston Youth Technology Center, building a contemporary home in the suburbs that merged her preference for minimalism with his love of natural materials. Their wedding reflected this harmony of contrasts. Traditional ceremony at St. Andrew Parish Church. Reception featuring both classical string quartets and reggae fusion. Cuisine combining French techniques with Jamaican flavors. Everyone felt the authenticity of their connection, recalled Pastor James Thornton, who officiated their ceremony. 200 guests witnessed 2 individuals who genuinely completed each other. What makes certain relationships appear flawless from the outside? Have you ever observed a couple whose connections seem to transcend ordinary romance? That rare combination where strengths align, weaknesses complement, and 2 separate lives intertwine to create something greater than either could achieve alone? This was Desiree and Marcus, professional powerhouses individually who became a force together. They represented what many seek: partnership without possession, support without suffocation, love without limitation. No one at their joyful wedding reception could foresee how quickly this perfect union would dissolve into horror. Negril sits on Jamaica's western edge, where dramatic cliffs meet 7 miles of pristine beach. Beyond the tourist zones, exclusive enclaves offer privacy to those who can afford it. Negril Heights stands among the most coveted, a collection of luxury villas perched on cliffs overlooking the Caribbean Sea. Villa Serenity, their chosen accommodation, featured floor-to-ceiling windows, infinity pool, private chef access, and security that promised discretion and protection. At $750 per night, it represented their biggest honeymoon splurge. Marcus insisted, Desiree's mother later told investigators. He said they'd earned this moment of luxury after years of building their careers. Their social media chronicles revealed days of pure joy. Desiree's Instagram showcased sunrise yoga on their private deck. Marcus posted videos of their horseback ride along the shoreline. Their joint account featured exquisite meals, underwater cave explorations, and cliff-jumping adventures at Rick's Cafe. "Living our best life," read the caption under a video of them dancing barefoot on the beach, cocktails in hand as local musicians played. Their engagement metrics surged. Friends commented with heart emojis and promises to visit Jamaica themselves. Colleagues expressed good-natured envy. Family members shared their posts with prideful captions. May 22nd, 6:43 p.m. Their final upload captured a moment of perfect tranquility. Desiree and Marcus on their balcony, champagne flutes raised against the backdrop of a spectacular sunset. The golden light illuminated their faces, catching the glint of new wedding bands. "To forever with you. Honeymoon bliss, Negril paradise." Within hours of this post, 3 men would monitor the villa from a distance, noting when lights moved from room to room, tracking the couple's evening routine. Beyond the manicured grounds of tourist havens, Jamaica grapples with complex realities. Economic pressures create criminal opportunities. Wealth disparities breed resentment. Territorial conflicts establish dangerous boundaries invisible to visitors. Paradise exists in fragile balance with these forces. Travelers rarely glimpse the delicate membrane separating vacation fantasy from local reality, until that membrane tears. For Desiree and Marcus, that tear happened at 11:30 p.m., when the threshold between their dream and nightmare dissolved completely. May 23rd began as another idyllic day. Security footage from 7 Mile Beach shows the couple arriving at 10:13 a.m. They rented water equipment, lounged under a cabana, and shared lunch at a beachfront cafe. "They couldn't stop touching each other," recalled the cafe owner. "Hand-holding, quick kisses between bites, the way newlyweds do." At 4:47 p.m., Marcus posted a selfie from Rick's Cafe with the caption, "Last sunset cliff jump." 20 minutes later, Desiree uploaded a slow-motion video of Marcus plunging into the crystal waters below, their final documented public moments. By 7:02 p.m., villa security cameras captured their return. Desiree's hair still damp, both dressed in casual beach attire. Marcus carried a shopping bag from a local craft market. They disappeared inside, the door closing behind them. At 8:04 p.m., Marcus called Caribbean flavors, ordering jerk chicken, grilled snapper, festival bread, and a bottle of white wine. The call lasted 3 minutes. He mentioned plans to visit the Blue Hole the next morning and asked about recommended times to avoid crowds. Marlon Davis, the delivery driver, arrived at 8:38 p.m. His statement to police provides the last third-party interaction with the couple. They looked relaxed, happy. Marcus wore shorts, no shirt. Desiree had on a white cover-up. "They tipped me 2,000 Jamaican dollars and joked about gaining weight from all the amazing food. Normal tourist stuff." The villa grew quiet. Lights moved from the kitchen to the living area, then to the bedroom around 10:15 p.m. Normal evening patterns captured intermittently by exterior cameras. At 11:27 p.m., Keisha Blackwood, staying in the adjacent villa, called emergency services. "I heard crashing, like a door being forced, then shouting, male voices, angry, then gunshots, many gunshots, then silence." Police arrived at 11:42 p.m. They found the front door splintered near the lock. Inside, chaos. Furniture overturned, glass shattered across the floor. A trail of blood led to the bedroom. Officer Raymond Jenkins, first to enter the bedroom, documented the scene. Male victim on bed, multiple gunshot wounds to chest and head. Female victim beside him, 3 apparent gunshot wounds to abdomen and 1 to shoulder. Male deceased, female in critical condition. Desiree, barely conscious, whispered 2 words as paramedics transferred her to a stretcher. "Help. Marcus." She fought for nearly 4 hours at Savannah Lamar Public General Hospital. Medical staff transfused 7 units of blood. Surgeons worked to repair extensive internal damage. At 3:17 a.m. on May 24th, Desiree Campbell Reynolds was pronounced dead. If this case moves you, please take a moment to like this video and share your thoughts in the comments. Have you ever visited Jamaica? Did you feel safe? Your engagement helps this important story reach others who might learn from this tragedy. Subscribe if you haven't already to follow this case to its conclusion. News of the murders blazed through Negril by morning. Local residents gathered at police barriers. Hotel managers fielded panicked calls from guests. Tourism officials convened emergency meetings. This threatens our entire economy, Jamaica Tourism Board Director Anthony Blake told reporters. Negril welcomes thousands of honeymooners yearly. Their safety remains our paramount concern. Resort bookings dropped 37% within 48 hours. 3 cruise lines temporarily removed Negril from their itineraries. The economic impact registered immediately in a community where 7 out of 10 jobs connect to tourism. Detective Superintendent Raymond Clark took command of the investigation. A 22-year veteran with specialized training at Scotland Yard, Clark assembled an elite task force, drawing officers from Kingston, Montego Bay, and local Negril precincts. This case demands our highest response, Clark announced at the initial briefing. Every resource, every technology, every contact we possess now focuses on finding who committed this atrocity. Forensic teams processed the villa for 3 days. They recovered 9mm shell casings, footprint impressions from the garden, partial fingerprints on the broken door frame, and DNA samples from blood smears near the exit, possibly from an injured perpetrator. Security cameras from neighboring properties captured 3 male figures approaching at 11:25 p.m. and departing at 11:32 p.m. The footage quality proved too low for facial recognition, showing only general body types and movement patterns. Most telling to investigators, the apparent lack of robbery motive. Despite easy access to Desiree's diamond jewelry collection, Marcus's Rolex watch, $3,000 in the bedside safe, designer luggage, laptops, and camera equipment, nothing of value disappeared. The killers took nothing except lives. This execution-style attack targeted the couple specifically, Clark explained to his team. The question is why? Who benefits from their deaths? Background investigations into Desiree and Marcus revealed no criminal connections, no financial improprieties, no obvious enemies. Their digital footprints showed standard professional and personal activities. Phone records indicated routine communication patterns. What drives someone to destroy lives during what should be their most joyful moments? What level of hatred or calculation leads to such precise violence against a newlywed couple? Have you ever wondered what invisible forces might connect victims to perpetrators when the motive remains obscure? For 2 months, these questions haunted investigators while the case generated international headlines. Tourism officials offered a $50,000 reward for information. The families added another $25,000. Then came the anonymous call that changed everything. July 18, 2025. A call arrived at Negril Police Headquarters. The caller, voice disguised, refused to identify themselves. Check out Tyrone Fletcher in Green Island, 17 years old, been flashing cash, talking about a big job he pulled in Negril, says he got paid $500,000 to handle some tourists. Detective Clark deployed surveillance teams to Green Island, a community 20 minutes from Negril. For 3 weeks, they tracked Fletcher, noting his new clothes, motorcycle, and frequent visits to upscale establishments, unusual for someone his age. August 8, 2025. Tactical officers surrounded Fletcher's grandmother's home at dawn. He surrendered without resistance. Inside, officers discovered a 9mm handgun matching ballistic profiles from the crime scene. Initial interrogation yielded denials. I don't know what you're talking about, Fletcher repeated through 10 hours of questioning. Everything changed when forensics matched his DNA to blood drops found at the villa. He had cut himself on broken glass while fleeing. Faced with this evidence, Fletcher's facade collapsed. Patterson paid us, he finally admitted. Said it had to look like robbery, but we weren't supposed to take anything. Rohan Patterson, 38, owner of 3 Kingston nightclubs, former boyfriend of Desiree Campbell. Fletcher's confession revealed the full narrative. Patterson had dated Desiree for 3 years before she left him for Marcus in 2020. Despite the passage of time, his obsession intensified. He tracked their engagement announcement, wedding plans, and honeymoon details through social media and mutual acquaintances. Patterson told us exactly when they would be there, Fletcher testified. He knew their villa layout, provided the security code for the gate, told us which bedroom they used. Fletcher identified his accomplices, Damian Powell and Curtis Blake, both with extensive criminal histories. The payment, 500,000 Jamaican dollars, approximately $3,300 USD, divided among the 3 men. Patterson said if he couldn't have her, nobody would, Fletcher stated. He wanted them eliminated during what should have been their happiest time. As Desiree and Marcus shared sunset toasts on their balcony, Patterson was finalizing payment details with their killers. While they planned their Blue Hole excursion, 3 men were checking weapons that would end their lives. Police arrested Powell on August 12th, hiding at a relative's home. Blake attempted to flee the country, but was apprehended at Sangster International Airport on August 15th. Patterson was taken into custody at his Kingston office the following day. Could you recognize danger before it strikes? Warning signs often appear long before violence erupts. Like this video and comment with any red flags you've noticed in relationships that indicated potential danger. Your insights might help others identify threats before they escalate. Subscribe for our follow-up video explaining how to recognize obsessive behavior patterns. Patterson's arrest shocked Kingston's business community. The club owner maintained a respected public profile, charity golf tournaments, entrepreneurship mentoring, regular media appearances discussing nightlife trends. His handcuffs provided a stark contrast to this carefully cultivated image. Evidence against Patterson mounted rapidly. Cell tower data placed his phone in Negril the day before the murders, contradicting his alibi. Financial records showed cash withdrawals matching the payment amount. Text exchanges with Fletcher contained veiled references to the Negril job. Search of his Kingston residence uncovered photos of Desiree from their relationship, hidden in a locked safe. His browser history revealed hundreds of searches for her name and Marcus's over 5 years. He had created fake social media accounts to monitor their activities. Most damning, Patterson's personal journal contained entries expressing violent fantasies about the couple. The final entry dated May 20th. 3 more days, then she'll understand permanence. Prosecutors filed comprehensive charges. 2 counts of first-degree murder as conspirator, 2 counts of conspiracy to commit murder, solicitation of murder, illegal possession of firearms by proxy, criminal facilitation. Fletcher, due to his age and cooperation, faced juvenile court proceedings on reduced charges. Powell and Blake received multiple felony counts including first-degree murder, breaking and entering, and weapons violations. Attention shifted to the psychological elements of the case. Patterson had maintained surveillance of Desiree for 5 years after their relationship ended. What transforms rejection into murderousness? How does emotional attachment corrupt into deadly possession? Patterson represents an extreme example of controlling behavior, explained Dr. Nadine Marshall, forensic psychologist consulting on the case. He viewed Desiree as property. Her happiness without him became intolerable. How can fixation on another person destroy multiple lives? When does normal disappointment transform into dangerous obsession? Have you witnessed controlling behaviors that made you feel uncomfortable, even if they didn't escalate to violence? The Jamaican courts fast-tracked the case. Legal proceedings began in October 2025, with international media coverage amplifying every development. Tourism officials hoped swift justice would help repair Jamaica's reputation as a safe destination. The Jamaican tourism industry implemented immediate security reforms following the murders. The Hotel Security Enhancement Act passed unanimously, requiring 24-hour armed guards at all private vacation rentals, advanced surveillance systems with cloud backup, mandatory background checks for all villa staff, emergency response buttons in every room, regular security audits by police officials. We must protect our visitors and our economic future, Tourism Minister Angela Rodriguez stated during the bill signing. Each traveler deserves peace of mind, along with our beautiful views. The family's grief manifested differently. Desiree's parents retreated from public view, requesting privacy through their attorney. Marcus's family channeled their anguish into advocacy. Gerald Reynolds, Marcus's father, spoke at a memorial service attended by hundreds. My son and daughter-in-law represented Jamaica's brightest promise. Their light dimmed too soon, yet their impact continues. 3 months after the murders, the Reynolds-Campbell Foundation launched with $2 million in initial funding. The foundation serves dual purposes, supporting families affected by violent crime, funding technology solutions for travel safety. Desiree and Marcus brought people together in life, explained Devin Reynolds, Marcus's brother and foundation director. Their legacy will unite communities against violence and provide healing for those who suffer similar tragedies. Local Negril residents created their own memorial, a sunset gathering place on 7 Mile Beach with twin palm trees planted in the couple's honor. The site became a gathering spot for evening vigils, where tourists and locals alike leave messages of hope. Tourist bookings gradually recovered as justice proceeded through Jamaica's courts. Resorts reported 85% capacity by December, though private villa rentals remained at 60% of previous levels. Economic analysis showed the critical importance of security perception for island tourism. Kingston's technology community established the Campbell Reynolds Innovation Grant, awarding funding to applications focused on community safety. The first recipient developed an emergency alert system connecting travelers with local authorities through simple voice commands. The tragedy transformed Negril's approach to visitor protection. Police presence increased. Community watch programs expanded. Tourism workers received threat assessment training. This community refuses to be defined by a single tragic event, Negril Mayor Josephine Clark noted. We honor their memory through protection of all who come to our shores. When possession masquerades as love, tragedy follows. Rohan Patterson's fixation reveals how rejection can twist affection into violence. His inability to accept Desiree's happiness without him cost 2 lives, destroyed 3 families, and impacted an entire community's livelihood. The case highlights crucial safety considerations for travelers. Research destination crime statistics before booking. Limit real-time social media posts that reveal your location. Consider private security for exclusive accommodations. Register with your embassy when visiting foreign countries. Trust your instincts about unusual attention or circumstances. The most dangerous threat isn't always a stranger, notes Detective Clark. Relationship history creates vulnerability patterns that cross geographical boundaries. As Patterson and his hired killers await final judgment, the memories of Desiree and Marcus transcend their violent end. Their professional achievements continue through scholarships bearing their names. Their love story, though cut short, inspires stronger security measures protecting future travelers. Perhaps their most significant legacy emerges through the foundation addressing root causes of violence. Community intervention programs, therapy for obsessive behavior patterns, and resources for leaving controlling relationships. These efforts may prevent similar tragedies. Their story reminds us that safety requires vigilance, even in paradise. That professional success doesn't shield us from human darkness. That joy and danger sometimes occupy adjacent spaces in our world. If this story moved you, please subscribe to Guilty Minds Crime Stories. Each episode examines cases that illuminate human motivation and provide valuable safety lessons. Your subscription helps us continue investigating these important narratives and sharing them with audiences worldwide. Leave a comment sharing your thoughts on this case or personal experiences with controlling relationships. Community discussion creates awareness that may save lives. Desiree Campbell and Marcus Reynolds deserved their forever. Though it was stolen from them, their impact continues through changed laws, enhanced security protocols, and a foundation helping others avoid similar fates. Their final sunset toast to forever came true, not as they intended, but through a legacy protecting future generations of travelers seeking their own paradise.